Hello, my beautiful friends. So, my original plan was to honor two amazing women who had birthdays this past week, and I still plan to do that. Anna Janis, who is 101. I'm actually not sure if she's still alive. She moved away to be with her daughter down in Texas, but I follow her Facebook page, and I'm kind of thinking that her daughter might post something. She was very, very healthy at 100, so I'm thinking 101, she made it. And my other friend Tracy, who is deaf, and she is hiking right now in Scotland for her 60th birthday. These two women are an inspiration to me. Anna was a friend of my mother's, and they were very involved in community events in the town that I grew up in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And she was just like this incredible woman. She was a widow. She had been widowed twice, I think. And she was like one of the women who served in the, I think it was the Navy. I think she was in it must have been the Navy, because she was like the assistant to like this big general or admiral. She was like an assistant to him, and she learned to ski at the age of 60. And I remember as a teenager being like, I want to be like that lady when I grow up, because she just was always trying new things, always doing stuff, and she was just such a really great example. And she was such a good friend of my mother, and then she moved away to be near her children, who moved to Texas. So, but she always kept in touch and always kept an eye on my mom, and through my mom's passing and stuff like that. And Anna is just a tremendous, tremendous role model, a woman of faith. She's Anglican too, a woman of faith, very convicted for her beliefs, and just a wonderful, wonderful example. And Tracy is an amazing example. She's a thru hiker. She and her sister thru hiked the Appalachian Trail in the 80s. Tracy is deaf. She was born hearing, and then got progressively more deaf over time due to, I think, a viral infection when she was a child. She reads lips fluently and reads the captions on these videos. But she is truly an inspiration, because nothing holds her back. She was one of the first deaf people to go through a vet tech program. They told her, oh, you can't be a vet tech, that you can't do that. She specializes in wildlife vet tech, and she did it, and she's just an amazing role model, as well as a hiker, as a professional, and as my friend. So these are two tremendous women, and these are examples of people that we should follow and try to be like. And then today is September 11th. And this week has been filled with just incredible sadness. Now, I'm not political. If you follow the channel, you know that I'm not in either party, so I don't get involved in all that. But this week has been tough. Started with a woman being slaughtered on a train while people just sat there and watched and videoed and did nothing. Didn't even render aid when they could right away. And she bled out and she died. She had, from what I understand, I don't know how true any of this is, but she was from the Ukraine. She had escaped all the craziness in the Ukraine, had come here to be slaughtered on a train by a person who had been convicted several times of violent crimes and was released. And then we had today, or yesterday, the shooting of this fella who I guess goes around to college campuses and sparks debate or whatever he does. I'm actually not familiar with him at all. I don't know his work or anything like that. But on Facebook, on social media, people are glorifying it, cheering, fist bumping. No. Like, I don't care if you don't agree with him. I don't agree with a lot of people, but that doesn't mean that they have to die, and that we should cheer for that. We should never cheer for that. We should never celebrate the murdering of somebody else. America, if you're American, is built on the idea of freedom of speech, which means that any fool can get up and say any foolish thing, right? You don't have to listen. You don't have to participate. You don't have to hear what they're saying. You can walk away. And that is what this country was built on, because we weren't allowed to say what we wanted to say to England. And so we wanted freedom. We wanted the ability to speak freely. And that includes things that you don't agree with, right? So no person deserves to die, that no matter what side of the fence they sit on. And at the same time, another school shooting, another group of victims, died senselessly, or I don't think anybody died. I think there were injuries, but it doesn't matter. It's still awful, right? But that got, watered down and washed away because of this other guy. Like, we've become numb to this daily count of people who are suffering at the hands of just a cultural collapse of decency and dignity. We shouldn't be cheering over people who are being murdered or whatever, and no matter what they believe. So it's heartbreaking because today's 9/11. And I saw a meme earlier, and it said, if only we could go back to the people we were on 9/12. Unified, political ideologies cast aside. We were there to support the victims, to support the families, to support one another, to go through grief. People flooded to places of worship, to places of community, to come together, to gather water, to gather, things to send. I live right near New York City, and of course I'm in Pennsylvania, and I'm not too far from the Pentagon either. 3 hours or so. So, we stood together, right? And one of my favorite pipe tunes, which it's actually my favorite pipe tune, the 20th anniversary of it, the arrangement that's made, I'm going to post it down below, is done by the Puget Sound firefighters pipe band. They're on the West Coast, and in the 20th anniversary video that you'll see, in every place where they're playing, there are I-beams. Those I-beams were made at the Bethlehem Steel, which is where my dad worked, and that's where I grew up. And it just reminds me that that tragedy brought us all together. It was horrible, that tragedy. But the people we were on September 12th, why can't we be those people again? People who get together, who bind together for light and love and bring hope and resilience and strength and community. Why can't we be those people again? Why can't we have more Annas and Tracys in this world? We need more light. We need more light. This world is just like closing in darkness. Why can't there be more light? It's heartbreaking that these tragedies happen over and over again, and we go down the political rabbit holes of blaming, the firearms or blaming whatever. But the truth is there's a cancer in our culture that's that is rendering us unable to be empathetic and compassionate and kind and loving. This cancer is eating away at our dignity and our decorum. We have to be the people we were on September 12th. We have to return to that. As you remember those who fell on 9/11 and the families that have struggled ever since, because this day is hard enough for them, and then we remind them of it every year. They have to remember every year. Nationally, internationally, they have to remember. They have to see the videos. They have to hear the songs. They have to hear people like me talk about it, right? They have to remember it constantly. Their grief is constant. Let's just keep all of these folks in our prayers and our thoughts and our positive power and energy. Let's just keep an eye on each other. Let's care about one another. Let's stand up and defend people when they're being attacked. Let's render aid when we can. Let's do all we can to bring light and love into this world. It's so desperately needed. I am wishing you all the very best in light and love. Be well. Take care. Bye-bye.